Welcome to the Trinity Force Podcast. Yo, it's that Triforce cast beaming straight to your home. Grab a beer so we know Pone ain't drinking alone. Send an email, a quick tweet, just pick up the phone. Leave a message at the beep if you're a creep, watch your tone. Discuss the meta game, patch notes, whatever helps your stats most. Obi Pone Kenobi is your last hope to snatch gold. So grab your headphones and join in the fun. We'll try enforcing some jokes and some cringeworthy puns. Yo, we can make it together, people. Trinity Force Podcast. These boys are second to none. Now that's the end of the intro. It's time we begun.
Fuck, I just realized that my mic was muted the whole time there while I was drinking. But hello, everyone. My name is N.A. Eric, and as always, I'm the host for this podcast. This is episode number 782 of the Trinity Force Podcast. Christ, we've done a lot of these. But tonight we have a couple of old faces, but we also have a new face. So, you know, the people you've seen on before, we have Sean. Sean, say hi to the fellas. And fellettes. I don't know if there's a female version of that, but he said howdy. Kaib, and we also have a new friend we have on, John. John, say hi to everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. And so
Eric didn't give me a chance to say hello, so
yeah,
hello.
well, oh yeah, right. Sorry, I breezed over him a little bit. Then yes, but Kaib is here as well, and we're always happy to have you, Kaib. But yep. So
That didn't sound sincere.
It was sincere as hell, man. Come
I
on.
need you to do it again.
Kaib, I'm so glad you're here for this podcast. I couldn't have done it without you.
Daddy, chill.
Okay, there we go. Now his ego is satiated and we're all good to go. But as I said, 782 of this podcast, and we have a bunch of different stuff we're going to talk about, but I don't want to reveal anything that we're going to get into because first off, as I said, we have a new voice. So John, welcome. We're glad to have you here joining us. So you know, I'm not just going to make you just randomly talk about whatever, but first off, thanks for being here. And how'd you get into League, and then how'd you join the community? And yeah, like just go into a little bit about your history of that.
Yeah, so I started playing League during season 10, and it was during the like just when COVID and everything happened, because I had a bunch of downtime. I was in school at the time, and I was in dental school actually, and because of that, you know, they had to shut down everything for a while, so I had a lot of downtime, and so I started playing League because a ton of my friends growing up had played. I never got into it, but then I mean I had a bunch of time, and I just started playing with them, and then you know I haven't turned back since. Just really enjoyed it.
Nice. So you've been hooked ever since, and that
Yeah,
nice. That
for
lasted
sure.
a lot longer for some of us. Like I've been hooked since season 1. I haven't been able to get out of it, but it's interesting. I haven't heard of too many people that got hooked, you know, later on in the League scene. But
Yeah.
gotcha. What made you really like get into it? I mean, I know that you said you started playing during COVID, but what really actually stuck you with it since there's so many games out there?
Yeah, I mean, I played a bunch of different stuff. Like growing up, I played like a bunch of Halo and COD and stuff like that. But I also liked like turn-based strategy games and stuff like that. Um, and I can definitely see some similarities between that kind of stuff and with League. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was just a whole different animal though too. So just getting accustomed to that was kind of its own thing, but it was a lot of fun.
Yo, this guy's a man of culture. Halo and COD, love to hear it. Let's go run some kids' pockets. Come on, let's go play some wagers.
Oh man, I haven't played Halo in forever. I did not. I will say Halo is one of those games for me that I really enjoyed the campaigns for, but hate the multiplayer with it. Halo jumping is not my thing. I don't like the mechanics of how that interacts with multiplayer at all.
Infinite's a lot better with that because I agree. I hated like 1, 2, 3. Reach was okay. 5 was meh. But
Halo
Infinite,
Reach had an amazing campaign. Amazing.
I love
I
the
haven't
campaign.
played a single Halo campaign, so I wouldn't be able to confirm or deny that.
I like the like large scale stuff they had in the like on for multiplayer and stuff like that in Halo 2, for like where they had vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Because when they tried to put vehicles in COD, I think the only one oh they had it in Warzone for whatever COD that was. But the first one I remember them putting in vehicles in was COD 5, or I guess Call of Duty World at War, and those tanks were so overpowered, it was
Dude,
absurd.
don't make me get nostalgic, okay? Don't remind me about World at War and the game mode War. It was the greatest fucking thing to ever happen to that franchise, and they never brought it back
What was the
until World War II,
what
and
was
it
the war
sucked.
game mode again? Was that the like the multiple checkpoints?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I will
Think like it
say
was like a smaller scale conquest from Battlefield.
I really didn't love Call of Duty or COD 5 as much as I liked COD 4 or 6, so Modern Warfare 2, because I thought that I just didn't like the campaign was also good. Zombies, great when they first introduced it there, but the multiplayer was nowhere near as satisfying. I felt it was just, I didn't like it anywhere near as much. The different perks and other things that they had.
So let me guess, you abused one man army, lightweight, commando pro,
No, I played. Nope.
infinite noob tubes.
Nope. I played Hardcore Headquarters, and I was one
Oh
of
my
those gogs.
god.
Yeah, I would run around, and
No.
you don't need a mini map. Nope. And I would also almost always in my, the offhand, the secondary, I'd run a stinger, so I could shoot down anything, so there was no vision for the enemy team.
Dude, you were the fucking people that I just despise playing casual Call of Duty. Like,
Oh.
it's no fun.
Love you too, Kybe.
Hey, I just showed that I'm better than everyone in this lobby and got a 15 kill streak. Oh, here's some idiot who's gonna shoot it down in 20 seconds.
Yep.
That was fun. That was a
Yeah.
great experience.
Exactly. No, you don't get UAVs. I would run, and then when I played Black Ops, UAV, counter UAV, and the Blackbird. That was my kill streak always. Vision and counter vision. That's it.
Nah, dude, it was all about the you play Demolition on Black Ops 1 on Summit and you run Blackbird, Chopper Gun, or Dogs. The amount of
Ugh.
200 plus kill games. Oh, let's go.
Nope. Not at all. Don't love that as much, but okay. Gotcha. So, John, when did you join the community, and how'd you find us first off? Because I mean, we're out there. I mean, obviously, we're the most popular League of Legends community and podcast that's ever been created. Come on, but how'd you find us, and how'd you get involved?
I was just like looking for podcasts at the time and stuff to just listen during driving and whatnot to work, and I mean I just found on Spotify and then listened, started playing games, like heard about the Discord and whatnot, joined the Discord from there, started playing games, and then you know the rest is history.
Nice. Okay. And currently, you're the highest ranked of any of us on this call right now, because on the side of the screen, I also have up your u.gg, so we get to see you're a Rengar abuser. So although it does, there's not a ton of ranked games in here. I'll be honest. There's only
Yo,
7 to 8.
send that u.gg in the chat,
All right,
please.
I
I
got
haven't
you,
been
bro.
playing a lot recently. Honestly, the most recent patch, I just have not been a huge fan of playing.
Okay.
Just because I feel like every time, like when I would play jungle, I feel like every time I play, I would like ban either Volibear or Wukong.
Yeah, I
And
was about
then
to say
I ban.
that's why you
Alright,
haven't been playing
yeah.
because
So
Volibear's so strong.
it's just I mean, I'll ban Volibear and then they'll just play Wukong, and I'll ban Wukong and they'll just play Volibear every time. I swear. So I don't know. I just was like, I wasn't having too much fun with that. So,
Yeah.
and I also have just been really busy, at least in the last like 2 weeks with work and whatnot. But
Gotcha.
but yeah, I mean, I guess to that, at least for Rengar, has made that a little more difficult. But I mean, I still really enjoy that champion a ton, and I just love playing him.
Yeah, he's I don't like facing him at all. I hate Rengar as a champion. Oh, okay. He's good because he brings diversity to the game and all, but I absolutely hate facing him. Although as time's gone on, I've hated facing him less just because his kit is aged out of a lot of stuff. If I see a Rengar now, I just pick Poppy. I don't care. I just pick Poppy and go Chem Tank with Predator. I don't even have to.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's a rough time for Rengar for
Yeah.
sure.
wait, hold up. When did you start playing?
Season 10.
And you're level 498.
He's been playing a lot, man. Come on.
Yeah, no shit. I'm sitting here, the self-proclaimed ARAM wizard, playing like 25 a day. Jesus, how many games do you play?
Well, so the thing is, Kai, did you know that you gain more experience for a win than a loss? That's why you're so low level.
Well, I'm talking about I'm talking about just like time played in general.
I
Like,
mean, like he said, he was in
we
school and stuff when he joined, and we all had a lot of downtime. For those of us that like went to higher education, you have a lot of downtime when you're not busy with your studies and other social stuff. Like I played a lot of games in college, so that accounts for a
Yeah,
lot
so
of it, I'm
like
sure.
so for like to that end, whenever COVID happened, I was in my third year of school, so that typically third, fourth year is when you're like in the clinic and everything, and the clinic was closed down because of COVID. So like the only class I had was like 2.5 days a week, and it was online because of we couldn't be in person because of COVID. And so I mean I just had a bunch of time. I also got COVID, and so was had to quarantine for and do all that business. For those of you who have had it, know how that is. But yeah, I mean,
Which variant did you get? Did you get the original recipe or did you get one of the variants off of it?
yeah, I got the OG original
Ooh, nice.
recipe of COVID. Yeah, it was not fun, but fortunately, it was like I got it. I had symptoms for like 2 days, and I mean, it sucked the first day, but overall, it wasn't like horrible. And
That's
then I
good.
mean, I was fine after like 2 days. But I at the time I had two other roommates, and my other roommate got it at the exact same time I did, so
Gotcha.
it ended up getting us all. But
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, so that accounts for a lot of it, of course. Because if you're in dental school, I would assume that, when you're supposed to be spending a lot of time in person, then, actually, dealing with people and their teeth and gums and stuff, whatnot, then you can't really do a lot of that online. That can't really be done remotely too much. There's only so much
yeah,
online education because before then you've learned all about, the chemistry and the physics and whatever about teeth. And so you can't really do all that much, right?
right. So it's like the first 2 years are like mainly like didactic. It's a ton of like just studying and whatnot. And then there's they kind of ease you into it though. Like you
Sure.
start with doing like cleanings and stuff. Your second year, and then your third and fourth year is when you're in the clinic and you start doing actual procedures and whatnot. But yeah, like you were saying, like I mean, we were in the clinic at that point, so because it was closed down and because of COVID, you know, there wasn't that part of our education was halted for a period of time.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so Kai, that accounts for a lot of the games, I'm sure. Because if COVID
Yeah,
had happened while I was in college, I absolutely would have played way too much League. I'm sure.
yeah, it was that, and it was like it was kind of like the perfect storm of like getting me to play a lot because it was that, and then a bunch of my friends had like a similar situation where they had a bunch of time, so I was just spamming games with them and like just learning the game. Like from the start, I would say I've just tried to have as much of a student mindset towards it. Try to take in as much information as possible
Right.
because there's just so much to it.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So here, I pulled up some of your stats on u.gg. Do you want to guess what is your highest win rate champion that has at least 5 games played in ranked solo queue specifically?
Uh, just rank this season.
Just ranked this season, yes.
Probably Xin Zhao, because I had a period where I played a lot of Xin Zhao.
Okay, so it's a trick question because it's tied Xin Zhao and one other champ. Xin Zhao 8-0, another champ 5-0.
Maybe only 5 games. Maybe Lee Sin.
It was your Lee Sin. Well done. This guy knows his champ pool.
No, this guy's sitting here looking at his U.GG. No shot. The Zen Zhao's easy. There's no shot. He just guesses
I've only
Lee Sin.
played, I would say mostly like probably 8 champions for ranked.
I mean, you've played a lot of them, but yeah.
But I mean, I played ADC too. Played
Sure.
ADC in jungle. But I mean, I played an ADC jungle.
Okay. What's your most
Same
played?
stuff.
What's your most played champion in ARAMs?
In ARAMs.
Yeah.
Maybe Nidalee?
No, Nidalee is your 6th most with 6 games. There are 5 more champions that you, or 5 champions that you played more. All of them build AD. I'll tell you that much.
Maybe, is it Jax?
Jax is your 5th most. Yep. But there's
Okay.
4 more that have more games.
Maybe Vayne?
Vayne is number 2. Yep. You've played 9 games of Vayne. There's one you played 11 of, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You have a 64% win rate and a 2.15 KDA.
Really?
Most kills 14, most deaths 16.
Oh man, that sounds like most deaths too. Okay, that sounds like a Yasuo's.
It is Yasuo, yeah.
Perfect. Lots of kills, lots of deaths.
Yep. Yep, exactly.
That's hilarious.
Yep. So okay, cool. So that's cool. Thanks for enlightening us about how you found the community and why you started playing League and all. That's super cool because it's always it's always interesting to me at least how people find whatever game it is, whether it's League or another one, and find their game and then they like zone in and like, oh shit, this is my game. I'm gonna play a whole lot of this. Like that's always really interesting to me at least. So
yeah, and I love the competitive aspect to it as well.
Gotcha. Do you play Clash then as much as you can?
Yeah, and whenever I played more, like the first few seasons I played, I haven't played too much recently because sometimes we'll have like 4 and don't have a 5th or something like that with the but yeah, I mean I enjoy Clash. That was definitely when I started playing more ranked was when I was playing Clash.
Nice.
Because that was when I was playing ADC a ton. But yeah, I mean I still enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to just play Clash because it's the whole different ball game there too because it's a lot different than solo queue.
Oh, for sure it is. And yeah, playing as a competitive 5 team, or Clash I'd say is like competitive-ish. Like playing as a competitive 5 team is way different than playing in solo queue for sure.
Yeah, I've learned to, I guess, to have a love for solo queue though, because it's you just gotta embrace the chaos in a way.
It's absolutely straight chaos. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like
the wild west out there, and you just gotta steer yourself through the wilderness.
Exactly. That's the biggest difference that I've noticed as well when I played Clash a lot was I haven't played it in a while, but yeah, it's literally like pure anarchy versus a lot of coordination and understanding, and there's hardly any times when there's ganks going through that people aren't aware of, or at least like aware that they could be ganked if they're overextending, or there's a lot more coordination and stuff like that. Yeah. Yep. And I'm sure, Kai, you've noticed stuff like that because you've been on a couple of different competitive teams in the last couple of years, haven't you? Or last year or so.
Yeah. On one now. It's a completely different game. Yeah, that's really the best description I could give. It is not even the same game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say to embracing the just everything that happens in solo queue is a hard thing to do, but it makes it an easier pill to swallow sometimes.
It sure does. Yep. But Okay. Well, cool. Thanks for that introduction or show or so. It's always great whenever we have new voices come on and join us that it's we get to get some good insight about who you are, how you came to the game, that sort of shit. But yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
walking
of
us through
course.
that. So, we posed a question of the week last week, so this will still be active for the next week or so. But it's the new question of the week is or I guess new at that point was how much weight do you put on your solo queue rank? And so if you have thoughts on that, go into our Discord server and drop in feedback and that and the question of the week thread, which is under the general group of threads. So I guess it's a sub thread. I don't know about the hierarchy of that, but yeah. But we got a couple of answers, and I was cracking up before the podcast started, and I told everyone else not to look at this. So yep. So the question of the week was how much weight do you put on your solo queue rank? And Jiggly Duff said 145 pounds usually, um, and that's why I was laughing so hard. I guess I found it more funny than you guys did, since Sean is just sitting there like, oh, okay, yep, that's a normal thing. Okay. Um, and then Frank said, if I didn't screw up my MMR a lot more than I do, on my main account, I don't at all because last season I was trying to play ranked on 150 ping. Oh Christ, that's rough. And my MMR was complete trash. And a win was 18 LP and a loss was negative 18. That's one of the most extreme gaps I've seen with win loss LP. That's insane. Have you guys seen anything that high? Have you experienced anything that high with like a 7 or 8 LP gap in your wins and losses?
Mine was that last season, but not this season.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, like if you play on like a Smurf, it's gonna be like that, right? Because that's how it is on my Smurf. It's like you get like 25 or whatever, and then you get like 8 or something if you lose.
Sure, but have you seen it
The
that much
game
in
like
the
wants it.
other direction though, where a win is 7 or 8 less?
No.
No.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Maybe for like challenger players, you would like hear of it, but like I've never actually seen it myself.
Yeah, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that Frank is I don't think that Frank is challenger, but um could be. Yeah, so I don't know. But anyways, that 145 pounds through by Jiggly Duff, that was gold. I was laughing so hard at that earlier, but yeah. Um, okay, cool. So yeah, if anyone else has additional feedback with that, go ahead and drop that in there. But we also have seen another new champion be teased and stuff, and so that's what we kind of wanted to talk about. That was like the main idea for what we're going to talk about tonight is Nilah, the Joy Unbound. So first off, what did you okay, did any of you guys know of her lore at all? Are you interested in that? Because I always interested in lore and I always gravitate to it. Do any of you guys know about that, or do you even care? No, Sean
I
doesn't
don't
care.
really care.
I don't know much about it.
Oh, okay. So I'll give you the TLDR because it's interesting as hell. So Nilah is not a demon. However, she is possessed by a demon, I think. And basically, um, there are, like 7 or 8 demons across Runeterra. One of them's Tom Kench, another one is Evelyn, then there's Fiddlesticks, Nocturne as well. And then Nilah is possessed by the Demon of Joy. And the Demon of Joy, basically, she doesn't feel any emotions other than joy. So let's say that, a loved one passes away, she only feels joy at it. Like she literally cannot, which is its own sort of torture that you can only ever feel one emotion. So it's just really interesting on that. Like I found that to be such a great dichotomy of pain and pleasure. I don't know. I thought that was really cool just to
She's got
see.
the she's got the solution to solo queue.
Very true. Very true. But I mean, we've all watched all of her abilities at least because I told us all to before that we started tonight. But what are your initial impressions? Because I mean, she's meant to be a melee bot laner. What do you guys think? So, John, go ahead and go first. Like, what do you think of Nilah from the bit that you've seen of her?
Yeah, my first impression, I mean, she looks super cool. Uh, I played ADC a ton um the previous 2 seasons, and I just the idea of a melee ADC definitely appeals to me. I mean, I will definitely be playing it. it looks. I mean, off the bat, it looks pretty strong. Her kit looks strong, but I mean, we'll have to see. Definitely looks very interesting though.
I will say that I totally agree with you. It looks interesting, although I don't know if I'll play it that much. But uh, her, so I wonder because her attack range is not normal for a melee character. It's much higher than the max at like 175 or 150 that you see at like Belveth or Viego. It seems
Yeah,
like she's got like a Rakan or Lilia auto attack range, and both of those characters are ranged technically.
yeah, and like Thresh, it's like cause her that's with her Q. Like, just her regular auto attack looks like it has range, but that her Q gives her a little extra range too. But I mean, it definitely looks very interesting.
Yeah, but yeah, it does seem very cool for sure. Yep. Sean, what have you thought, man?
Yeah, I think like the general sentiment from the community I've seen is it brings up like the old Mordekaiser vibes before they like updated him, where they that one patch years ago where they like
The
they tried
Juggernaut
forcing him
patch,
bot
yeah.
lane. Yeah, they tried forcing him bot lane randomly, so they gave him pretty much the same passive where if you're in a duo lane, you both just get more experience basically. So like I don't think Riot was ever able to really balance that. It was kind of just broken the whole time. So like it is a little like questionable why they would try to bring that back. And I was actually talking to John before the podcast because like people are saying this is like the first melee AD carry, but I feel like Yasuo has been fairly viable in AD carry, especially if you're like really good at Yasuo for a while now. So
Yeah.
it feels like a little like weird that they're obviously just tacking on that passive to force her in the bot lane, but like Yasuo can go bot lane too without having to have this weird passive that seems like it's just going to be impossible to balance. So like I guess we'll see, but it's going to be a weird thing.
So you're talking about when you're with the passive, when it's that part where if Neil last hits a minion, she and her nearest allied champion gain the normal amount of shared XP plus half the XP that would have been lost due to sharing. That's what you're specifically talking about, right?
Yeah.
And I
I
guess
think
also
that's
the
like the
heals
most
and shields
notable.
part, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the most noticeable thing about the kit. Like, I mean, the kit looks cool, like the champion looks cool in general, but like that passive being tacked on feels like really weird. And I think a lot of people are like upset about it because I feel like old Mord never really got balanced either. The champion was just always broken. It was either broken or useless. So like,
Yeah.
I really don't know how you balance that. Really.
Yeah, cause like my like initial thought too, like seeing that is like, what is to like see how strong it would be is like what's the break point on like does it just make you reach level 2 how much faster than you normally would, like is it a significant enough difference that like you get level 2, which is a big deal, bot lane, before the enemy. Does that like make a difference there, you know
Yeah,
to
you
where it
I
just
mean
feels like you're just like behind them all the time?
you probably would. Yeah, I honestly didn't even think about that. My first thought was not about how this would work in bot lane because of course she's going to be in bot lane, but I was trying to think of funnel strategies with this because you could have I mean, I don't know about how she has a decent amount of utility, so you could definitely build her sort of tanky and then funnel a jungler with her, I would think with this. If you took the relic shield or what's the other one, like Warlord's Helm, or what's the whatever the AD version of that, like that honestly that's the first place my brain went, was that this could absolutely be a funneling champion.
Because like that would be super good for the jungler too, because you could just have your jungler come push like a few waves with you, and like you really don't like you just get more from it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, because then it doesn't, as long as she gets the farm, they're still getting the XP from it, and if you have the
Yeah.
relic shield stuff, then they're also getting the gold from it.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. I don't know. Kai, what do you think, man?
I don't really think much of it because the release, like all the teasing and stuff, has been like when I've been like the least plugged into anything, just because I've been moving,
Sure.
trying to get unpacked and get unsettled. I will say that the clips that I did see, and I think some of them were bugs, but if they're not bugs, I think she's going to be completely broken how she can just ignore tower shots.
Wait,
So I
what?
hope that that's a
Yeah, no,
bug.
that was a bug. It was
Okay,
like
okay.
configured for
Okay, then we're good. Whatever. I don't care. She looks fun. But honestly, I mean, I
With her
haven't been paying much
W. Oh, with
attention.
her W, she could ignore them. Interesting. I didn't even think about that. Incoming
Yeah, but
basic
it was
attacks.
it
Yeah.
was a bug. Yeah, it was a
Okay.
bug.
Okay. Good.
But I mean, like, I'll play her, but I'm not. If I play ADC, I play Senna or Ezreal. So, I mean, I don't know how much I'll play her. I'll try her out a couple times, but
So could you? I mean, now there's another champion that has dodge back in the game because dodge was a mechanic that was in beta and was also in season 1 or 2, and they got rid of it right after that. But a Jax Nilah lane has everyone has dodge. It probably wouldn't be that great. It sounds like it's terrible, probably, but um, yeah. I also like a lot of champions nowadays have been recycling abilities. Like we saw a lot of that with Akshan, which was a combination of Lucian and Vayne and several other champions as well. But
and then you have Viego who recycles
everyone.
everyone's abilities.
Exactly. And then Nico and Silas as well, who steal part of their identities as well. But now Nilah also, like, her ultimate is literally AD version of Orianna. It's literally Orianna's thing. I mean, it heals
Yeah.
her, so it's actually better, but I don't like oof, this I like that they're starting to recycle them in good ways, but this just feels like, oh shit, what are we gonna give her R? Should give her some healing and maybe some AoE. Hey, Oriana's got some of that. Cool, let's do it. It feels a little unimaginative, the R, to me. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, like when you get like 159 champions, whatever, you're gonna have to start doing some stuff. Otherwise, like when Riot goes like too weird and they make like a champion like Yumi, like people just hate it completely. Where they make something that's completely out of the box. So I think people generally just like things they kind of know. So they have like stuff that's similar. Like Action's passive is similar to Lucian, but it's not the same.
Yeah, but then instead of recycling some of this stuff, like it's fine to recycle in new ways like Akshan did, but why don't they do things like add more new mechanics? Because Nilah doesn't have many new mechanics at all, it doesn't seem like, other than her passive, which is very new. I mean, I've been hoping for a while where there could be a subtract gold from yourself and give it to an ally champion. Given that she's, meant to share heals, shields, experience, why not have something like that baked into her kit too?
I've got a better idea of what they can do. If we're talking about recycling abilities, let's take Alistar's thing where he pounds the ground, right? Okay. Take Vi's denting blows, her W. Fuck that. Just make that part of her passive and make it where Vi just smacks the ground and knocks people up. Doesn't even have to do damage.
You just want
Q
Vi to
in,
be too
knock him
good.
up. Yeah, dude, she sucks ass.
She's not that bad. She's getting
She
pro play
is.
as well, but like, she's
Dude,
not
she's
that
so
bad.
bad. She's a
I've
literal.
seen her getting picked in where are those
She's
like
a
the
stun bot.
Challenger Q matches. I've seen her picked a couple
She's
times.
picked an LCK as well.
Yeah,
Is it?
because the fucking mid laners, they just sit there and play to scale, and they're a stun bot for a Victor. Hey, here's a Vi, free W and R. Congrats, Victor just blew up at least one person.
Vi gets banned against some of the LCK junglers.
Vi gets banned against me in competitive every game, but what they don't know is I'll never play her. They're terrified of this 73% win rate, baby.
That's why I always used to get Nunu banned in my games when I did the competitive, but I was never going to play Nunu with what we had. Especially when I feel like half the games we faced a goddamn Anivia, and oh god, I fucking hate Anivia when I'm playing jungle. Like, I hate that champion with a passion. And it would, ugh,
Just play Wukong.
Okay, well, this is before Wukong could W over walls. This was
Okay,
like a year and a
fair,
half
fair.
ago.
I was gonna
So
say, yeah, just anytime I've seen Anivia, I just play Wukong.
I don't think Wukong's a good jungler, so I refuse to play him in the jungle.
He's good if you're I kind of like him similar to how I'll play Viego. I won't pick Viego if none of my laners have their own CC. Like I played a game the other day where I had a Renekton, a Lissandra, a Seraphine, and an Ashe. It was a perfect game for Viego because I don't want to be the primary engage um, as Viego with a Viego W. That's just terrible. Um, so I kind of look for the same kind of deal with Wukong just because he doesn't have any CC until his ultimate.
Yeah, I get it. I just don't love playing. I don't know. I don't. Wukong is a better top laner. He's a he's very good at high econ champions. He's okay at being low econ in the jungle. Yes, his W made and his E buffs have made him so he can jungle better, but he's just better in top lane in general. He should not be played in the jungle unless you could pick him and then flex him to jungle if you get a bad matchup,
Well,
but
I think it makes them. I think more times than not, it's correct to play him in jungle unless it's a specific counter in the top lane.
but
Like
he
if you're looking for the Wukong to be the carry, put him in top lane. Absolutely.
but he beats most like he's at least goes neutral or beats most matchups in top lane. That's like that my understanding about it. And in jungle, a lot of
Yeah, but
time,
you can W over walls.
yeah, but like
That's all that matters.
he doesn't win duels against other junglers.
No, he does not. Not early.
Not early, not even into mid game most of the time. Like I mean, it depends. Yeah, okay, you'll beat like a Nunu in a duel, but or maybe a Rammus or something. But like, no, you're not going to win an overall duel. I don't know. Like it just. I don't know. I have problems with Wukong jungle. I don't like it. The same reason I don't like Mordekaiser jungle. It's just
Dude. No,
Mordekaiser jungle.
Mordekaiser jungle slaps. Oh my god, it's so good. It's you remember when I used to talk about playing Mundo jungle and you just press ghost and run at people and there's nothing they can do?
Yes, I understand
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And now it's the same thing, but it's AP and I've got Mordekaiser E. Good luck
No.
getting away from me.
Well,
I
are
will
you?
say, like
Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
Mort is like turbo fucking broken right now. I
He
don't know if
is.
he's like in the patch to get nerfed, but I was actually playing a decent amount top this week, and like I remember I played against a Mort that literally went full tank, like all armor items, and his Q was still chunking me for like a fourth of my health. That made no sense. He just has like crazy amount of base stats right now.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's literally like what Mundo used to be before the rework. You just run at people. You can build tank if you want, and you're still gonna kill them. They just can't do anything about it. That's why it's great in low elo.
Mundo before the rework, absolutely. Since the rework, not a good jungler.
I played him some. He's definitely not as good as he was, but I like to think that I'm pretty good at Mundo, so I was able to make it kind of like the way I look at Vi right now. Vi is not, you know, up there in priority in low elo picks for jungle right now, but like I can make her work, and that's the way I looked at Mundo for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. Mordekaiser jungle I have a problem with because Mord jungle is not good unless it's only good when people are not paying attention to vision and they underestimate his gank potential. If you just like walk away from him, then and if you're understanding jungle pathing and you're paying attention to pings and like pockets of vision, Mord jungle does nothing. He clears, okay, but then he can't like fight people all that well. You just kite him out.
That's where Ghost comes in.
Okay, sure, he has Ghost, but most champions can survive in his ultimate, and if he's ulting the most valuable target, he's also.
Well, so the way I guess I should explain. I When I was playing Mundo, I was just getting level 3 to get all my abilities, and then I was just gonna fight over and over and over. Couldn't do
Oh,
anything about it. With Mord, I full clear. If a gank's there, take it. If it's not, back, full clear, repeat, 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 take objective. You will not see me come out of the jungle unless it's free, and then I'm going to show up to a team fight, and I'm going to murder somebody in my ult, I'm going to take their stats, and then I'm going to murder the rest of the team.
well then why don't you play Udyr?
No, dude, fuck that. Mordekaiser.
No, Udyr is so much better at that.
Nah, dude, he's an edge lord.
With like So like Riot buffed the move speed you get from the passive a little while ago, and you just go Rylai's, like I think it's second item.
Yep.
It's actually super hard to kite him right now. Especially if he's like ahead. If he's ahead, he's kinda like I mean he's like any other bruiser, where if like bruisers are ahead, they just do a shitload of damage. But
Yeah,
like
well, that's why I say that I won't take ganks early unless they're free. Just because if Mord gets behind, he's very bad unless you like get a perfect ult off on someone and then take their stats when they're already low, right? Because you can just kill them regardless. And then
can
you
also
come out of that fight and you're like even with the rest of the champions on the map.
He can also just recycle his clamps really quickly.
Yeah, he is a very fast clear. Like I think you can get your first full clear. If you get a leash to like 138, which is pretty standard from the bot lane, you can full clear at like 309 if you kite and keep your passive up correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I know that it clears very fast. He does take like the first clear is not the best in terms of speed, but it's fine. Like I don't know. He's
Well, his first clear is great if you can keep your passive up. It's very fast. It's like I would say it's like average full clear, and then the second you learn how to get your passive correctly, like how far you can take it and stuff to pull camps, that's when you can drop it like 15 seconds.
Yeah, but the problem is you have to keep I mean, like it's a lot harder than that just because, especially on the red side of the jungle, you can only refresh your passive when hitting large monsters. So with Krugs, it falls off basically always.
I don't think that that's true.
I'm pretty sure that it is,
I
but
haven't experienced that because I can keep my passive going from Krugs to Raptors.
so I thought it was only when you're hitting a large monster, meaning the giant Krug. Once you kill the giant Krug, then you have, the
No,
3 or 4 seconds of
it definitely keeps it on at least the medium ones.
okay.
Um, because if it didn't, there's no way in hell I could keep that passive up
Yeah.
from Krugs to Raptors.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. The other problem I just have with the other reason I really don't like it, we don't have to dwell on this too much longer, but I really don't love Jungle Mord because, he takes objectives, sure, but if you're trying to either you pull out the other jungler with your ult, or you don't ult and then you're not using part of your kit. But if you pull the other jungler out or someone else, you're not able to smite the objective.
Well, so if I'm going for a dragon, I will look to pull someone before it's even close to being down and just try and kill them before.
Sure, yeah. I get it. I don't know. Maybe an unpopular opinion. I mean, he doesn't have a very
no,
large
I
pick
mean
weight.
so like on paper, like Mord's kid is pretty trash, but I think right now he's just got crazy stats, and they've like buffed him a couple times, and now he's just like a high win rate. Just well, I'm sure like good players just shit on him. Like you never see him in like high elo games still because the kit's so bad if you play around it correctly.
Yeah, he has a 50.8% win rate in Plat Plus right now in Jungle. If I put that up to Diamond 2, where is Mordekaiser here? He is 45. So the difference between Plat and Diamond 2 is 5 percentage points. That's pretty goddamn huge. Yeah, so like you're saying, Sean, yeah, his kit is not that good, but even more so, it doesn't work for a jungler overall. Yeah.
I just feel like there's people that can do what he's good at just slightly better.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, what champs are you thinking of that do that?
Like in at least for this most recent patch, it would be
Here
like
he is.
at least for top lane. But if I can play that like more jungle, why wouldn't I just play like Volibear or like I don't know Zac or like Rammus? And because I mean
I don't think any of them do the damage that Mort does. Tank Volley doesn't do the damage that he does, and he's the
Yeah,
the
but
highest one.
but their ganking is way better.
Yeah,
The
they're
sticking
ganking.
power also.
So
The
I guess
sticking power.
yeah. So
I
like
guess
they're
I'm just arguing because of the way that I have tended to play him, where it's
Gotcha.
kind of like fiddlesticks, where I'm not showing up until I have my ult.
Yeah, because it's like I would say that if you just like run into the enemy jungler, I mean he can just stat check a good bit of people right now, like y'all were saying. But
I will say I
I
don't
mean
think there's a stronger jungler right now than a Mord who has gotten a free double kill bot lane at like 3 minutes.
Lilia.
yeah,
No, Mord is so much stronger. Lilia, well, it's different with Lilia though, because you're not like Lilia. You're not just gonna get up in people's faces. You're gonna kite them around and shit. So yeah, you can do the same thing, but like if you get caught, right? If a Nautilus hits a hook on you, you're gonna die. With Mord, it's like, okay, congratulations, I wanted you here.
Trundle.
I mean, yeah, if he builds tank.
yeah.
No,
Trundle
no. If
was
you
who
build
I'm thinking.
Sunderer into like Bork or into something else, like
Oh
maybe
yeah. Okay, yeah. My bad. I thought I was looking at if Mord builds tank and the Trundle ultim. But yeah, no, Sunder or Bork, Trundle is terrifying.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is. When he's really ahead, it's very scary.
yeah.
I
Or I
will say
mean,
like,
sorry, go ahead, John.
so like my experience playing more top is like it's like the champion bullies people really hard. And it's like it feels like you win lane like every game, and then you get to like mid and late game, and you're just like useless. It's like it happens to me literally every time I play Mord, and like maybe I just haven't played enough of the champion to know how to play like the mid and late game well. But like it just feels like your kid is so bad for team fights, and you just get kited, and it just feels bad.
I also really like forcing people to pay the QSS tax.
Or just play a champion that doesn't matter, that you can survive or kite around him in within the ult, or just understand how to, just like outplay him in it. He walks at you. He uses his E, which is so telegraphed and easy to dodge if you have at
Well,
least
you
tier
also
one
you also
boots.
have to remember what Elo. I'm playing in high silver, low gold. Like
Yeah,
think about the clientele. We're not exactly the smartest fuckers in the league
what
world.
right, but even when you're in lower, like as time's gone on, mechanics have been getting narrower and narrower. So yes, game knowledge, absolutely, there's still a gap between silver, plat, diamond, plus. But a lot of the times, mechanics, once you hit silver, they're playing mechanically pretty similarly to plat and not diamond somewhat.
I think you've just offended a lot of Diamond players. If Dan Men was on this podcast, he would be cringing so hard.
As a diamond player in season 10 myself, I can confidently say that when we play in community game nights, or when I play on my Smurf and stuff, when I'm playing with people who are bronze or silver or gold even, there's not much of a mechanical difference. There is a game knowledge difference, definitely, but there's not much of a like physical mechanics difference to the much that I'm noticing. Maybe like they're playing, maybe these people are playing on champions that they're used to a lot more. So
I
that
could
gives it.
agree for like the easier champions, yeah, but like someone like a Yas or Yone, absolutely not. Like a silver Yas main is nowhere near as mechanically good as a diamond Yas main. No shot.
Oh, sure, but I mean, like, when we're talking about uh,
Jarvan, yeah, that's fine.
playing anyone kiting around Mordekaiser, that's basically going to be pretty similar. If we're talking about, these champions that aren't super mechanically difficult. If we're talking about high skill ceiling champions mechanically, Kiana, Gangplank, like I don't know, Yasuo, Yone, like you're saying there. I don't know.
My favorite thing, especially when I play Mord or Volley now, is when I see those champions that are super high mechanically intensive. Like if I see a GP, I'm just like, wow, I am going to camp your lane and make your life hell because I don't believe that you can play that champion correctly.
Yeah.
So like my experience with Mord is like if you get ahead or you're like fed, you like get in a team fight and you ult like whoever's the strongest on their team. But then you're not the front line for your team, so you get out of the ult and everybody on your team is dead. and then you just die too. It's like usually what happens in my experience, because you can pick one person out of the fight, but like you're the front line for your team. So like without you, usually your team just gets stomped.
I try to ult someone who I can kill quickly in the ult, so that I have those stats and just pray that my team's not dead after the fact. Yeah, if I get out and my team's dead, I'm fucked. But if I can kill the person in the ult pretty quickly, like I'll have Ghost running. You know, I hit one Q, they're dead. If I miss the first Q, they probably make it out. But I mean, I'm gonna take a
Yeah.
squishier champion because I tend to just go like on a flank. Like if the four teammates are, you know, headed through mid lane, I'm coming through bot lane for a dragon fight, hitting Ghost, ulting the back line.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't want to take up the whole podcast about Mordekaiser, though. That was an interesting discussion for sure. I did see that we got a question in Twitch chat. Shark asked, "How do we feel about the hypocritical stance of Riot not allowing Cassiopeia to buy boots, but Belveth can?" Kaib, what do you think?
It's a good question. I never paid much attention to the fact that Belveth doesn't have feet. So
There are actually a lot of champions that don't have feet.
Yeah,
Still buy boots like Nami.
I think it's
oh
just,
yeah.
yeah, isn't it just that, you know, Cass can't buy boots because that's her passive, is she gets move speed per level? That's the
Well,
only
you
reason.
know,
Yeah,
I
but
can't
like
believe that they would take away Cass's snake woman rights, her God-given snake woman rights like that, and then give them to other people. That is outrageous. We should have a Supreme Court ruling on this.
Okay, let's though I would love to talk politics, let's keep that a little
Let's talk
more.
about Kane. Let's talk about Kane and how good Kane is right now.
I don't think Kane's that good right now.
Red Kane slaps right now.
It feels
Can
like
we
it takes
talk
too
about
long to get online.
can we talk about how like the Canes are building the opposite builds of what they're intended to be? like Red Cane's going the assassin build and Assassin Cane's going the Red Cane build.
Are they actually?
I actually really like Bluezer right now.
Ugh.
Run first strike Bluezer. It's like obviously you're not I feel like it's safe, right? If it's not a game that I need to go Red Cane, I'll play Bluezer just because it's safe. Like if I don't get ahead and I just play full on assassin, I'm kind of just fucked, right? But if I play Bluezer, I can at least do something.
If you get ahead as Red Cane, though, it feels like impossible. The game just
Oh
feels
yeah,
impossible.
yeah. But like even if you get behind as Red Cane, it's still doable because you've got a lot
Yeah.
of, you know, percent max health, you've got your W knock up and stuff, but if you get behind on Blue Cane, like Assassin, you're just fucked. Like you're not gonna do anything.
You just don't do damage.
Which is why the Bluezer is great.
Dude, I played against a Red Cane that went the assassin build, and he was still just like one shotting me as Darius, and it felt so disgusting to play against.
Was that the
I remember like
Eclipse?
one fight I got him to like 200 HP, he like ulted me and came out like 3/4 HP. It made
Yo,
no
I know what
sense.
I'm doing after this game. That sounds fun.
I mean, Sean, you know that his ult has the healing and the damage have a AD ratio, and it's also max health of the champion. So if this was later in the game and you had a lot of health on Darius, yeah, he's gonna heal for a shit ton and do a lot of damage. That's just how the Kane ult works.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. It just felt disgusting to play
That's true.
against.
That's true.
What
Yeah.
are your thoughts on going if you go Red Cane? So if I play Red Cane and I am if I'm ahead, I definitely build the Manamune, but I've been kind of leaning into building it if I'm just even. I'll just go like Gore Drinker, Manamune, uh, Death Stance, maybe throw a Bramble, and it you can't be killed, and you still just do so much fucking damage.
I've
Death
ne-
Dance definitely feels gross on him right
I
now.
I've never been a fan of Manamune on Kane. I would always just prefer to go Gore Drinker into maybe Black Cleaver if there are a bunch of tanky people, or Death Dance, then Black Cleaver maybe, or Sterix or something. Like I just don't. Manamune never felt great on to me on Red Cane. On Blue Cane, absolutely when you're going Assassin Blue Cane. But I also really hate that he can swap forms and build either way and still be kind of doing the same thing. I really don't like that.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. As much as I like to play Blueser, I don't think that you should be able to.
No, because you're flying in, you're pretty tanky, you're doing a third of your damage in the first 3 seconds is AP, is magic damage, and then when you ult, it resets that cooldown, so another 3 seconds worth of damage to each unique champion, I believe it is, you're doing magic damage. That shouldn't, that should not be a thing for someone who's building tanky and still be able to blow up. Like they need to. Kayn is a hard champion to balance, given that he has the 2 forms, but they need to, I think, isolate the 2 identities and balance them appropriately. But I
Like
understand.
I don't even know, like, without getting super number intensive, I feel like the only way you could do that is to like restrict the like the build path that he could go. Like literally restrict the items that Blue Kayn can go. Like you can't go Gore Drinker.
No, just have something where you could do it with Red Kayn pretty easily, where you give him armor and MR and max health scaling on some of his stuff, because he's building items that have that sort of thing. So if you give him max health scaling, there you go. If you have armor scaling, there you go. Death Dance gives you that. If you're building Maw, okay, you get some MR scaling. You do the inverse. You could also, like, I don't know why Riot doesn't have any of these champions where you're penalized for having resistances. So if you were like, they could do that with Pyke, for example. Pyke doesn't get penalized for building any resistances, but they want him to be a squishy champion who cannot get additional max health, like based by his kit. So if you were to build something like a Dead Man's Plate, you're not getting the health, but you're getting all the armor. You get all the armor from Pose and Heart. But what if you were to convert, or say this champion only receives 66% of all armor that they purchase effectively? You could do that with Blue Kayn, the same idea, where you're only getting you only get 70% of the health that you build. Therefore, you make it like mathematically so inefficient to build that way that it just doesn't work.
I had a game the other day on Kayn, and it like made me discover what I thought was like the perfect Red Kayn build, because the game went long enough and I got far enough ahead to where most of the enemy damage was AD, but they had one like AP threat. So it warranted me going a Spirit Visage. So I went Gore Drinker, Muramana, Death Dance, Sterix, and was building into Spirit Visage after that, because the
Yeah.
boost to your healing, that would just be stupid.
Spirit Visage feels amazing on him. The problem is Spirit Visage is not a great item right now, and there's not a lot of situations where you want to build it because mages blow, so people aren't playing mages.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine a world where Kayn would ever build Force of Nature over Spirit Visage.
Never.
So like for him, it's good. Like if I'm playing volley, I tend to go Spirit Visage over Force of Nature on volley as well because of W healing
Like,
and his E shield.
but like when you play Vi, I assume you go the other way. Or when I play Udyr, there's never a chance I'm ever playing Spirit Visage. Never. I'm always
if I
going
play
Force of Nature.
Vi and I have to get to the point where I build some tanky items, I won't build Force of Nature on her either. Spirit Visage all the way. Any champion that just gets a bunch of shields like so frequently, with the amount of CDR that Vi gets that late into the game where you need to go a Spirit Visage or a Force of Nature, your 10-second passive shield regeneration, you're popping that so frequently that your shields are just huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little bit of ability haste is nice too on the item for like any champion like that.
I tend to, like, if a champion has innate healing or shielding built in, like decent amount of healing or shielding, like Kayn, Volibear, Vi, I'm building a Spirit Visage over a Force of Nature every single game.
I used to like it a lot on Warwick. I used to
Yeah,
play a bunch of Warwick.
I like Spirit Visage on Mordekaiser. I like to play. I'll play Mordekaiser into like 4 AP comps. It's great.
Yeah. So here's another champion that has all these weird different builds for them. And John, you can speak to this, is Graves. So Lethality Graves right now is probably the best version of him, the most common that you see. But they did get rid of the Negan Graves, the lifesteal. They really nerfed that into oblivion. But I mean, you still see in. I don't see it very much in Actually, I never see it in solo queue because I ban Graves every game. So I don't know what else happens with Graves in solo queue, but I imagine that there's still a lot of people or some people that are building Stridebreaker or Gore Drinker and just going like Black Lever second and just going straight tanky, like, and that seems like
Yeah.
pretty unhealthy. Like, have you ever
Dude,
played any
it
of
is
those? What do
so
they feel like?
stupid. It is
Yeah.
so dumb.
So like, I guess like in theory, at least with like Gore Drinker, it's like if they have like 3 or more melee champs that are like bruisers. I mean, I've tried it as well. Like it's pretty gross. I mean, it can be really good. In those kind
He
of
just gets so
situations.
much armor. Like
Yeah.
you just can't kill him. I played against it one time where and he got fed. So granted, he was getting his items quicker than most in the game. But I mean, there were fights where I'd click on him, and this dude would be out of fights with like 500 armor, and he's not building armor items.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
then he
God,
just
I
has.
fucking hate my life.
Yeah, that's just like super good on him too, because he just has the armor, and then Gore Drinker just makes him tanky with the health. It gives him ability haste, which he really likes. Uh, I mean, and when there's like 3 bruisers on the enemy team, and you can get that Gore Drinker proc, and it just gives you a ton of health back, like in a fight like that, because he loves the extended fights. It's just I don't know, that item is, it's just weird that it's on him, and then like pretty good in some situations. But I've tried the Eclipse more than Gore Drinker personally.
Do you think that it's? I guess this is kind of a rhetorical question, but it's not. I guess it's not even a question anymore. It's not even healthy that he can build that and still be effective.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like he's like double dipping on stats, as far as like he already gets a bunch of armor, and then he also just gets to build a bunch of HP and do a lot of damage.
With that, it's like so niche though. Like
Yeah,
you don't really you can't build that into every game like you could
no,
the Eclipse build. Like it's
no.
got to be the right situation. So I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
wish
agree.
they would nerf that out of contention, but like I've seen it one time pulled off correctly.
But even when he is building it in the right situation, or even when he doesn't build that, then he's building something else, he still gets 250, 300 armor through his E. That's just based like because of the way that it stacks up. Like he still gets a shit ton of armor, even when he's not building any armor. I don't know. I personally don't think that he should get way reduced amount of armor than he currently gets with his E when you stack it up to True Grit. Or this would be a perfect champion to get rid of to say this champion cannot gain bonus armor from items. Boom. Immediately then he has to rely on his E and whatever base scaling he has. I don't know. I don't like Graves, so I'm looking for any way to get rid of him.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I haven't been able to make him work post the shield bow bloodthirster meta. I don't know. I can't pull it off with the Umbral Eclipse that build. I'm not as good there.
Yeah, I think it just with him, you just gotta do the build that's best for the game. But it's like it's just weird with him because they have all the items on him. But like, yeah, I mean, I agree. Like the Umbral is just like, I never go Umbral on him unless it's like pretty much all squishy team, or like mostly squishy team. Because like at that point, I would rather just build Eclipse first and then like go into other things. He just has a lot of options. Like you can go like Eclipse Bruiser, you can go the Gore Drinker, you can go Eclipse Crit on him. But I think
Just
that's
build it
probably
on Vi. Just build Umbral on Vi. Just do my super stupid burst Vi build. You run Electrocute, you rush Umbral for the quick lethality power spike, and then to Triforce or Sunder, like normal build after that, game over. You get ahead, you're not getting touched.
Yeah. At least like the amount that I've like what Graves I've played, the one I enjoy the most is probably the Eclipse crit. Um, it's more like an ADC. It's just really fun being able to do like a ton of damage. Like someone just walks up to you, you just auto them once, and it's like, oh, there goes half your health.
So speaking of Graves, I always like to, when I'm looking up a champion, see what their win rates are and other stuff is going on in other roles they're not intended to be in. So Graves support has, I know, on this patch it has 39 matches and a 23% win rate. What do you think the keystone that the highest win rate has taken?
For Graves support,
Graves support, yes.
what's the one that you hit like a slow or something and it does the
Glacial?
slow? Yeah, is it glacial?
It is not Glacial. Sean, what's your guess?
Dark Harvest.
It is not Dark Harvest. John, what you got? What's your guess?
Guardian.
Nope, it is Comet. Comet, Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, Scorch, and then Zombie Ward, Ultimate Hunter. Seems very weird, and it's like lethality with the spectral sickle, and poke.
Speaking of off-meta supports, have you guys seen Sejuani support lately?
No, but LS talks about it a lot. I haven't seen it at all.
It is, it's quite abusive. It's very good. The coach for the competitive team that I'm on has told our support that he needs to learn Sejuani in the next 2 weeks before our next match because it will be played.
Interesting. I mean, there's a it was not played but drafted in there's a YouTube video that I would recommend everyone go and watch. It was really cool. It was LS and Cadril did drafts against one another, and it was a 5-game, they did like 5 games of drafts, and anytime a champion was picked or banned, it could not be picked or banned for the rest of the series. So anything that was picked in game 1 or banned in game 1, gone for the rest of the series. And at one point they ended up like I think LS's team drafted Sejuani support, but it was like they got into some really interesting stuff. It was really cool. It was really cool. There was a Bard mid. There was what else was there? There was I think there was an AP Gragas ADC. Like there was some very cool stuff. But yeah, Sejuani support was one of them.
I think it's worth mentioning that it's pretty meta top right now, at least for like high elo. Like it's been getting picked in pro play a decent amount. It is pretty strong.
Yeah, it has a 51.5% win rate in top lane. It's like apparently the 9th best top laner, and a little bit less in the jungle.
Yeah, I only tried it once, but I can see it. Like, it did feel pretty good when I played it.
What was the matchup you played it into?
I don't remember actually. I played it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. The thing is, like, if you played in like a good matchup for like tanks, which is usually just like squishier champions, then you can like shit on your lane and then roam mid because you have a crazy gank too, or like make a play with your jungler. Because Sejuani ult is like got to be like one of the best pick tools in the game, and then like her Q and her W and E to follow it up are just crazy. So like she just feels like she has pretty good stats right now, so she can just hang in there top lane.
Sure. I'm trying to find that game that you're talking about. Do you know which one of the accounts it was on?
It was definitely Sean E-Boy.
Okay,
It must have been like 3 or 4 weeks. I just remember because Whippo was playing it on stream, so I felt like I had to try it.
Was it ranked or norms?
It would have just been a norm.
Okay. Let's see. Yep, 1 game of Sejuani and you lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a tank. You're like, I don't know. You get like the most value off like picks and being the front line, but you don't have a ton of carry potential. So it's, I feel like you don't see it because it's a tank. You don't see a lot of tanks.
But you got 12 kills. Nice.
I mean, I used to play Sejuani jungle when it was like super meta. It's obviously not like as meta anymore, but it's still playable.
Yeah.
I like Sejuani as a champion in general.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I can search by champions over here. God, u.gg is so good. They have like all the different ways I can search for this. Okay. You played against a. Well, you played a few games. Oh, one month ago, and then before that was 5 months ago. But this one was you got 7 kills against a Mordekaiser top. Yeah, that sounds like a good matchup for Sedge.
Yeah.
You also
I
played
mean,
against a
it's like
Yone jungle. What the fuck?
yeah, I mean,
Dude, I would give anything for Yon Jungle to be a thing.
That would be really
I might,
cool.
I might even like. All right, here's the question for I guess the junglers here. Give me 3 champions that you wish were junglers that are currently not.
Ooh, okay. Let me
Would you like me to give mine first?
I want to think about this. Yeah, go ahead, you first, because I gotta write mine down on a Word document so I can remember.
Okay. First, Yone. Okay. Second is Camille, because she used to be, so like I don't know if that one exactly counts. And then third, Swain.
Oh no, no! I hate your picks.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't hate Yone, but I hate the other ones.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, gross. Okay. John, you play a lot of jungle. What do you think?
I would say Silas. I mean, this one's gross, but Trindamere. Uh, Camille would be really fun too. That's one that I was thinking about.
I
Camille
will
would be
say
cool.
one of my
I think-
honorable mentions was gonna be Silas.
yeah, I'd
It
say
like his kit
Silas
just makes
too.
sense to be a
Yeah,
jungler.
Silas would be a lot of fun.
Like it makes perfect sense for him to be a jungler.
Yeah, I mean it can work. It's just you need a while to not get invaded. You need winning lanes to make sure you don't get invaded, and you need to like get to level 9 and have kind of some items. So it doesn't really work.
Make a
Yeah, at
really
that
excellent
point, if
jungle.
you're relying on not being invaded, just play Nasus.
Yeah. Yep.
Give me a set jungle. You can ult people back. I know it was like
Dude,
a thing when
Hex
he first came out, but
Hex Flash set jungle still
Hex
works.
Flash.
No, dude, it still works. Catch me in the mid lane, Hex flashing out of those bushes. Oh, that mid laner's fucked.
Oh my gosh. So here's mine, and so I'd also say Yone, absolutely, but I would also say I think Renata jungle would be really cool if you could make it like she needs more clear. It doesn't work at all with her current kit. She doesn't have enough damage. No, it wouldn't work right now for her. But if they did do a mini rework at some point in the future, which I don't see happening because her kit is pretty good and it's very well balanced, her Nico. Nico should be a jungler. It would be sweet to
I
just
agree.
all of a sudden. I play her jungle sometimes, like not in ranked, but in norms. It's so fun to turn into someone else and roll up on them, and they're like, "Oh shit, the mid laner's here. Oh wait, the mid laner's there. Oh, this is Nico." And then you throw out the vines. I can't remember what her E is called, but you throw that out and you snare them, and then if you hit it through a minion, if that's a level 5 E, then it's a 3-second root, and then you hit your blooming blossom on them, and oof, it's amazing. I love that. She has a pretty decent clear too. I mean, her cooldowns are a little high for the jungle, but as long as you can kite it out, it's not that bad.
Okay, I've got a few more honorable mentions, and then I'm done. Galio,
No,
Predator Galio.
no, no, not allowed.
Yes.
No, not
yes.
allowed.
Gross.
Nope, not
Okay.
allowed.
Here's another. Bring back Ezreal jungle.
Okay.
And then something that I actually like to play jungle, but like you'll never see me play it in solo queue, is Garen.
It's not that
But
bad, Garen jungle.
But it's one of those where like if you're gonna play Garen, you just play a top.
I would say Quinn jungle would be an honorable mention as well.
Yeah, I guess if what you would need the Tiamat, but
You just
Jingle.
fly in and
Yeah.
gank. It would be so good. And she has really good early dueling potential too.
yeah,
I'm
I'm a
going.
big fan of the ADCs as junglers.
I'm going with orange jungle, and you just never leave. Just keep building your items.
Sean,
Jungle
no,
again.
not Orange Jungle. You were there for when we did the interview with UCI Esports. We talked about Orange Jungle and how they destroyed it. No, it doesn't work.
I've seen LS try it on stream too. It looks bad, but
It's
it
not
would be
great.
funny to just never have to back. Like you get blue buff and get all your mana back, and then you just heal off like plants or whatever, or just heal off smites. Like it would be pretty funny.
I also
Ol-
think that if they gave Cho'Gath a little bit of a buff to his monster damage, he would roll over everyone in the jungle.
You can
And it
already
wouldn't even
play
be
him
close.
jungle, and it's not that bad.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Like one of the guys that was on the competitive team plays a fuck ton of Cho'Gath jungle, and he makes it work really well. But like I'm talking like if they gave him an extra like 50% to his E or something, what is it, the void spikes? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, the void spikes. Yep.
If that was like 50% additional monster damage, he would just run over every jungler in the game.
Yeah, that'd be disgusting. We can bring that up when we have a Cho'Gath main or former Cho'Gath main mystery guest on next week. We could bring that
Oh,
up with them.
Kerblunk.
Yeah, of course.
I can't wait to have Kerblunk back.
Yeah, but
Maybe even Made You Smile will come back one day. Who
ooh,
knows?
maybe. But no, what I really would love is Brand is on the tipping point of being a very
Dude.
good jungle. Brand is good if
Yes,
you know what you're doing, but he's not
yes.
great. What I wish they would do is when jungle monsters are ablaze with his passive, they do like 75% damage to Brand. Boom, he's a jungler then.
Okay, Eric, do you see a lot of Olaf tops in Plat right now?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
Okay, I was about to say, if you want some extreme freelo, if someone on your team is locking Olaf top and you play anything other than Volibear, you're trolling the game. Think about someone trying to get away from a Volibear Olaf combo, just running you down.
I just play Lilia and I run away from them.
No.
Yes.
No, dude, you get flash queued Volibear and a what is it? An axe thrown at you, you're just dead. There's no kiting
I
that.
have Merc treads and you can't catch me.
No, there's no escaping that.
You don't kill me because I have Riftmaker and I have Zanya's. No.
No.
Sorry.
No, you just don't escape.
Okay. Hard disagree.
You're allowed to be wrong.
I'm never wrong. I'm the host of the Trinity Force podcast, damn it.
And with that, this has been episode 612. We've gone back in time about a year.
A couple of years with that one.
Yeah, shit.
Because we're on 782 right now.
That'd be what? Almost 3 years.
Yeah, that'd be a while back. Yeah. Sean, who would you like to see jungle that isn't a jungler?
You just said Ornn.
Oh, right, he did say Ornn.
Oh?
Seraphine.
Give
Not
Darius some
adopted.
jungle buffs, man.
Darius, he did get the jungle buffs.
I know, and he's actually decent.
Yeah, his clear's decent, but as someone who's played a lot of Darius, you really want Flash and Ghost, because without sums, that champion just gets kited like hell.
So then why not just... But Ghost is the more important of the two, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, if you go Darius jungle, you like have to go Ghost Smite, but even that, like missing Flash feels so bad on Darius.
I'm gonna play that after we finish recording too. That sounds fun.
Darius jungle is fun, yeah. You go Red Smite, and I would say you go... If you're...
Do you...
Sunfire.
Well, okay, I guess if you're going Ghost, I was gonna say, do you not want a blue smite to get the speed?
Nah, you don't. You just
Don't
absolutely
really need it with Ghost, I
No,
guess.
you demolish people in fights. Yeah, with Ghost. Yeah.
As long as you hit your pull.
Well, you just run at them faster than they can run at you, and you W
Yeah.
them.
True.
Yeah.
I want TF jungle. I've been trying to make TF work lately, and that champion literally feels like you tickle people. Like he does negative damage right now.
He sure
So,
does.
Give me a decent TF. I miss TF. He's one of my favorite champions, and every time I play him, it feels like you're just a stun bot basically, and you do no damage. So you have to hope your team can carry.
How?
Sean, I'll
pretty
make
bad.
you a deal, okay?
Yeah.
I will write a very strongly worded email with a lot of provocative suggestions to Riot's team if you promise to tickle me.
I'll tickle you.
Okay, Sean. Sean, what do you think the win rate for TF Jungle is right now on this patch in Plat Plus?
Like 38% win rate.
Lower.
28.
22.7.
Oh god.
It has
I mean, he's
66 games, and the most. Okay, this is stupid, but the best runes for him with 100% win rate over one match is Hail of Blades.
that does sound really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not even good mid right now. Like he's one of the
Oh,
worst win rate mid laners right now, so I don't see why he would be better in a role that he's not meant for. Like obviously the ult is meant for mid lane.
almost all of these builds that I'm seeing on here are AD and like Kraken Slayer and other crit stuff.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably better because like I don't know, he just does no damage right now. It feels so bad.
What do you think TF's second highest win rate role is? He's got a 47.9% win rate in mid.
Support.
Midi carry.
Support 44.7 with Predator.
I will say, okay, so me and me and Hudson played a game against this madman that went TF support, and he literally only built items that gave him move speed. So like he went like Dead Man's and like I don't know, like Force of Nature and like it just went full move speed build,
Shirelia's.
turbo like Chem Tank or whatever,
Okay.
and literally just ganked constantly with Gold Card because Gold Card is like a really strong tool, but it was just really funny, and he like made it work in that game, and like Hudson tried to make it work after that, and it just never like you just ended up feeding his ass off. But it was so funny when we first saw it because it was just like this like crazy build that like he must have just cooked up himself. Like nobody else would try that shit.
The one item that I'm seeing here that a lot of people are getting on TF support is Rapid Fire Cannon Rush. That makes sense because you just gank and
Yeah.
all of a sudden you come with like a 900 range gold card flying at them.
Yeah, I mean that's like the only strong thing about the champion right now is you have a point and click stun, super long range with rapid fire. But like
Yeah.
if you're not like getting picks with that, or like your team just doesn't have enough damage, which happens a lot when you have TF mid, like you're just kind of screwed. I don't know. That's happened to me so many times when like my team just doesn't have enough damage because I'm playing a mid laner that does literally 0 damage, and you usually need your mid to do a decent amount of damage at least to win team fights.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Here, Sean or Kaib, do you have any questions for John before we wrap up here?
Yeah, I've got one. John, you want to play as soon as we're finished here? Let's go.
Love it.
What's your favorite champion?
Rengar for sure.
I regret
I don't wanna-
I regret inviting you on here. Oh my god.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
It's only fun for me, I guess.
Oh god. I mean, isn't that what I can't remember. I also hated when we had Mark on from the UCI esports program. I remember I hated both of the champions that he said that he played when he plays. Oh god.
You hate Jin? What do you hate about
Oh
Jin?
no, he said Jin, but what else did he say? He said he played, was it like Ivern or what was the
I
other
just remember
champion?
the Jin.
He said Jin, but then he also said one other champion and Gangplank maybe, or oh, I don't remember, but I remember I was like, oh, great interview, great guy. Don't want to face him because I hate those champions. But yeah. All right. Well, cool. So with that, that was episode number 782 of the Trinity Force podcast. Remember, we have community game nights on Tuesdays at 7:15 Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time, depending on how daylight savings is for this last year and a half that we have daylight savings, because it's going to be gone next fall. So, yep. But yeah, we also go ahead and throw in your answers to the question of the week in the Discord, and you can find that on our website at what is our website? It's Trinity Force Podcast or TrinityForceNetwork.com, and there's all links to all the different socials, Patreon, and stuff like that. So, yeah, thanks for listening,
John just
everyone.
released a new set for the Patreon, so look for that in your inboxes.
Yeah, he did. And John, it was great having you. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone, and have a good rest of your evening or afternoon or morning or middle of the night if you work night shifts and are listening to this at this point.
Eric, just say goodbye and that you
Okay,
love
I
it.
can't stop vamping. I just can't do it. Like I just.
Okay,
Ugh.
guys, we gotta go. I love you all. Have a good day or night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.